Long ago, before cars, bikes, or even wagons existed, people had to carry everything by hand. Imagine hauling heavy baskets of grain, dragging logs across fields, or carrying water from the river every single day. Life was hard work, and humans began to wonder, isn't there an easier way to move things? That question, simple but powerful, would lead to one of the greatest inventions in history, the wheel. Before the wheel, early people dragged heavy loads on wooden sledges. They tied ropes to logs and pulled them over the ground, leaving long grooves behind. Sometimes they placed smaller logs under a large stone or a heavy basket to make it roll more easily. It worked for short distances, but it was slow, bumpy, and exhausting. The idea of something that could roll smoothly forever was still just a dream. Somewhere, thousands of years ago, perhaps in Mesopotamia, a clever person had an idea. Maybe they watched a round stone rolling downhill, or saw a log turning under a heavy load, and thought, what if we use this rolling shape to make moving things easier? That simple thought changed everything. No one knows the exact person who invented the wheel, but it happened over 5,000 years ago. Around 3500 BCE, the first known wheels were not for transportation at all, they were used by potters. Potters discovered that if they placed clay on a flat, round disc and spun it, they could shape bowls faster and more evenly. This potter's wheel was a game changer for art and craft. But soon, someone realized that the same spinning idea could move not just clay, but entire loads. At first, people tried to attach round wooden discs to sledges, but the wood cracked or the wheel fell off when the ground was uneven. It took many attempts before inventors learned how to make the wheel and the axle, the rod that connects two wheels together. Once that connection was made, the world changed forever. Now people could build wagons, carts, and chariots that could roll smoothly over long distances. Think about it, a wheel by itself is just a circle. But when you add an axle and fix it to a platform, it becomes a tool that can move mountains, literally. The first wagons appeared in Mesopotamia, pulled by oxen or donkeys along dirt paths. Farmers could now carry heavy crops to markets. Builders could transport stone blocks for temples and walls, and traders could move goods between faraway villages. The wheel quickly spread across ancient civilizations. In the Indus Valley, people built carts with thick, solid wheels to handle rough ground. In Egypt, craftsmen carved elegant wooden wheels for chariots used by pharaohs and warriors. In Europe and China, inventors improved the wheel design, making them lighter and faster. Each culture added its own genius touch, making the wheel one of the first truly global inventions. But the earliest wheels weren't like the thin, spoked ones we see today. They were heavy, made of solid wood cut from tree trunks. It took great skill to carve them perfectly round by hand. Later, people began joining several planks together, using pegs and glue to form a single wheel. As time went on, engineers made the wheels thinner and lighter by adding spokes, thin rods that supported the rim. This clever design made wagons faster and easier to pull. The invention of the wheel changed human speed forever. A trip that once took days on foot could now be done in hours by cart. Families could travel together, traders could explore new lands, and armies could move with incredible speed. The wheel had turned humanity into true travelers of the earth. But the wheel wasn't just about movement, it was about imagination. It showed humans could learn from nature, take an idea, and turn it into something entirely new. A round shape found in a stone became a symbol of progress. The wheel taught us that a simple idea can move the world. Over time, people used the wheel for more than transport. They attached wheels to gears, mills, and tools that ground grain into flour. They built water wheels that turned with the flow of rivers, powering simple machines. These early inventions set the stage for everything that came later, from clocks to engines to bicycles. Every spinning thing you see today, from fans to airplane turbines, began with that ancient discovery. Think about it, without the wheel, there would be no cars, no bikes, no trains, and maybe no way to explore our planet so freely. It is one of those inventions that changed everything. Yet most of us don't even notice it turning beneath our feet. Every time a car rolls down the street or a skateboard spins on the sidewalk, it's like hearing a quiet whisper from ancient Mesopotamia. Remember me? I'm the wheel, and I made your world move. The invention of the wheel also inspired creativity in art and storytelling. Ancient people decorated their wagons with symbols of the sun, another great circle in the sky. They believed the wheel represented life's eternal cycle, birth, growth, death, and rebirth. Even today, the wheel appears in religion, flags, and art as a sign of movement, progress, and time. When people saw wheels turning, they realized life itself was full of circles, the turning of seasons, the rotation of stars, and the endless motion of the earth. So the wheel became more than a tool. It became a symbol of human understanding. As carts rolled across plains and chariots thundered in battle, the wheel kept spinning, carrying humanity into new ages. It was the invention that never stopped turning, never stopped improving, and never stopped inspiring. From ancient roads to modern highways, from wooden discs to metal rims, the wheel remains one of the greatest gifts of human imagination. And somewhere, deep in time, perhaps an ancient inventor smiled while watching a round log roll smoothly over the earth, knowing that from that simple motion, the world itself would never stop moving. As the wheel rolled its way into history, it began to change everything about how people lived. Villages that once stayed isolated from each other were suddenly connected by dirt paths and trade routes. Farmers could load their harvest onto carts, and instead of walking for days, they could travel to nearby markets in just a few hours. The wheel turned not just wood and metal, it turned the rhythm of human life. In Mesopotamia, wheels helped build the world's first cities. Wagons carried clay bricks to construction sites, and carts delivered jars of grain to temples and palaces. Every clatter of a wooden wheel on stone streets echoed the heartbeat of a growing civilization. The sound of rolling wheels became the music of progress. In Egypt, wheels took on royal power. Chariots built for pharaohs became symbols of might and speed. Craftsmen carved fine, light wheels with slender spokes that glimmered in the desert sun. Pharaohs rode their chariots through grand parades, their golden wheels shining like the sun itself. But on battlefields, those same chariots raced with thunder, carrying archers and warriors faster than ever before. Across the deserts, wheels helped shape empires. Armies could move farther, bringing messages and supplies wherever needed. Traders could load their camels and carts, carrying goods like spices, cloth, and metals across hundreds of miles. The wheel had become a bridge between distant lands and cultures. Meanwhile, in the Indus Valley, wheels grew strong and practical. The people there made thick, solid wooden wheels that could survive rocky terrain and heavy rain. They attached them to sturdy ox carts that became a common sight along the streets of Mohenjo-daro. The sound of creaking axles and clopping hooves filled the air, the hum of early commerce. In China, inventors took the idea of the wheel and made it even more clever. They created the world's first wheelbarrow, a simple cart with one wheel that could carry an entire load by one person alone. This invention changed farming forever. One person could now move what once took three. The wheelbarrow was called the wooden ox, and it became as valuable as any animal in the field. From there, Chinese inventors went even further. They added wheels to water-powered machines, letting rivers turn great wooden gears. With this, they ground grain, cut wood, and even hammered metal using the strength of flowing water. The water wheel was born, and, with it, the first steps toward mechanical engineering. In Greece and Rome, engineers refined the wheel into art and science. Romans paved long, smooth roads that allowed carts to travel faster than ever. Merchants rolled their wagons full of goods from one end of the empire to another. Chariots became not only weapons of war, but also vehicles for sport, with races that thrilled the crowds in great arenas. The roar of the crowd as wheels spun at lightning speed showed just how deeply this invention had captured human imagination. Over centuries, the design of the wheel kept improving. Iron rims were added to protect wooden wheels from wear, grease, and oil made axles spin smoothly. By the Middle Ages, the wheel had found new homes in mills, where water wheels and windmills turned grain into flour. Each rotation of a mill's wheel was a turn of prosperity for the towns that depended on it. In villages across Europe, you could hear the rhythmic turning of wheels everywhere, in carts, in workshops, in mills. Every creak and spin told a story of human creativity. The wheel had become more than a tool. It was the soul of human invention, the circle that never stopped giving. As time passed, humans built more complex machines that all depended on the wheel's simple genius. The spinning wheel helped make thread and cloth, bringing comfort and beauty to homes. Clocks used tiny gears, mini wheels, to measure time itself. The printing press used wheels and rollers to press words onto paper, spreading knowledge to the world. Every rotation in those machines echoed the same ancient idea: a circle in motion can change everything. Then came the age of discovery. Ships with steering wheels sailed across vast oceans, connecting continents that had never met before. The wheel guided sailors through storms, across unknown seas, toward lands that would reshape the map of the world. Even the compass, with its spinning needle, seemed to honor the wheel's eternal motion. And when the Industrial Revolution began, the wheel took on a new life. Huge iron wheels turned in factories, powering machines that spun cotton, pressed metal, and built engines. Steam trains raced along tracks, their steel wheels carrying people faster than the wind. The invention that once moved a small cart now carried entire nations forward. Think of a modern city: cars, buses, trains, bicycles, airplanes, even office chairs, all turning on wheels. Everywhere you look, they're still spinning, still working, still carrying the same ancient idea from 5,000 years ago. It is amazing to realize that something invented by people carving wood with stone tools still powers the world today. Even space exploration uses wheels. The rovers on Mars roll across the red dust, exploring alien landscapes with wheels designed on Earth, from ancient Mesopotamia to the surface of another planet. That's how far one idea can travel. The wheel is not just an invention, it's a traveler just like us. The wheel also shaped how people thought about time and life. Ancient cultures saw the circle as sacred. The sun, the moon, the seasons all moved in endless loops. To them, the wheel represented the cycle of life, everything turning, changing, and returning again. Even today, we talk about the wheels of time, the circle of life, and turning points in our journeys. That's how deeply the wheel lives inside human imagination. Without it, we wouldn't have cars to drive, bikes to ride, or planes to land safely. Without it, we wouldn't grind our food, power our machines, or even measure time the way we do. The wheel became the quiet partner of every human dream. And if you listen closely, you can still hear its whisper in the hum of a car engine, the spin of a bike tire, or the gentle creak of an old wagon on a dusty road. The wheel speaks of motion, of invention, and of endless possibility. From the first potter shaping clay to the astronaut landing on Mars, the wheel has always turned beside us, reminding humanity that progress never stands still. As long as we keep moving, learning, and imagining, the wheel will keep turning, carrying us toward the next great adventure.